Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land. We are beyond honored to welcome His Royal Highness Prince Gharios. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, my pleasure.
I love the prince.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's an honor to meet you. We met earlier on the red carpet at Rock to Recovery, and you shared a bit with me about your family's dynasty and your story. Would you mind sharing it with us today?
Of course, yeah. A lot of people don't know about that, but there were some Christian dynasties in the Middle East, not only Muslim. And since the beginning, my family comes back to the kingdom of Sheba from biblical times, and they migrated to Syria, today's Syria, and then Damascus. And we ruled, being supported by the Byzantine Empire. And then, of course, with the advent of Islam, we were forced to move to today's Lebanon. It was not Lebanon back there. And we ruled there 2 small principalities for 500 years. Then in the 18th century, the Ottomans kind of squeezed us. And my great-great-great-grandfather had the utopia of removing all corrupt people. In the small principality, he wanted to go against this big empire, which was the Turkish Ottoman Empire. And then, of course, we had to move away, and that's why many family members had to go to the Americas, and I was born and raised in Brazil. My family had to escape there, and now I'm here.
Wow.
So yeah, we produced and directed this documentary, The Christian Kings of the Middle East. It's available on YouTube. Anyone who wants to see, just Google The Christian Kings of the Middle East, and all the history is there. And even featuring the leading, world's leading authority in Middle Eastern royal succession, which is Professor Joseph Kishishian, who's kind enough to be on it, and also the Maronite Archbishop of Beirut. So it's interesting for people that have no idea about the Christian kings that rule in the Middle East.
Wow.
It's fascinating. I mean, there's so much history there that I think that, I mean, even having children now, they're so far away from that. And I think that this gives a really good idea of what it's about. Because you even said your family migrated to Syria. So now in my mind, I'm thinking, do you have any connection? And does he feel a certain way about what's going on there today? And I mean, just so much comes up because so much changes.
Yeah. Many people don't understand, but there's a lot of different ethnicities in the Middle East, not only Arabs.
Right.
So you have amongst Arabs, you have
There's tons of Ethiopians.
nomad Arabs, and you have sedentarian Arabs. You have, and amongst them, you have the different, like the Gulf Arabs are different. You understand?
Yes.
The different. So my people, the Ghassanids, we are 15 million people all over the world, spread all over the world. So we kind of built a lot of things that you see today. You know, many churches, monasteries, palaces, most of them are in ruins today because of all these wars and conflicts. But we have a great contribution that, unfortunately, as Sir Winston Churchill used to say, history is written by the victors. So not much of that is available, especially in English.
So I'm wondering, though, what's it like to be a modern-day prince? And now that you're able to, reclaim your title, what kind of responsibilities do you feel like you have? And how are you using your title accordingly?
Well, a lot of people ask me that. And it's funny because for me, it's mostly like a glorified, unpaid public servant. Because
but it sounds amazing.
Yes.
But it's I have a lot of duties and not so many privileges. I'm a very simple person. I was raised in a privileged family, but not because of it. Because my family went to Brazil, we had absolutely nothing. My grandfather had to sell medication door to door and stuff door to door to kind of build a life. So we didn't have anything free. We kind of have to work and having a playboy father, I was forced also to work, and I work today. So I'm a very simple person, but I have some duties, which is to preserve the legacy, and I have a lot of duties with my people and with the people of the Middle East. We are working in many humanitarian causes. I'm in special consultative status with the United Nations. So we are trying to save the last Christians there. And we have this project called One Voice for Christians. And because if nothing is done in 20 years, there'll be no more Christians in the Middle East, which would be a catastrophe. And the world is not paying much attention about that. They are worried about the migration. They are worried about the oil, but they're not worried about this Christian people that are there since the beginning of Christianity. So we are trying to raise awareness about that in the past 5 years.
So to me, it sounds like the title of being a prince is actually being a super beautiful, good human with a great soul, that you're out there really sort of.
Thank you. You're very kind.
No.
As I always say, and I want to make that very clear. For me personally, a title of nobility or a title of an exiled monarchy has no use in 21st century at all as a personal honor. But the reason why my family and we keep this tradition is because we see that we can be relevant to our people. So it's a work, it's a job, it's not a nice thing that I get like nice tables. And on the contrary, people since they don't understand, they make a lot of fun. You know, I was accused of inventing the history of my family many times because, you know, you don't have much things available in English. So it's a lot more bother than privilege. Okay, so for me, the good part is that we work for the advancement of people, that people can live in dignity, not only the Christians but also the Muslims, the Jews.
That's the question I had,
exactly, yeah. So for me, I always say that God was very democratic when he distributed ignorance and stupidity. So you have ignorance and stupidity all over the world, in all religions and all ethnicities. So you have great people and good people in all religions and all ethnicities, and we want to help them, especially empower women there.
I heard that you were also knighted by the Pope.
Yes, in 2014, and I'm going to be promoted now in October in New York, the Order of the Holy Sepulchre, which is one of the oldest orders in the world.
So really quickly, so you're Christian, and yet the Pope is Catholic, and how does that work? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was born and raised Catholic because my family in the beginning used to be what is known today as Syriac Orthodox. But after they went to Lebanon, they became Maronite Christian, which is in communion with the Vatican. So we are under the Pope for over 1,000 years. And I was, because I was born and raised in Brazil, and I'm half European, my mother was Italian, British, and French. So I was raised by my nonna, my Italian grandmother. Yeah. So I was Roman Catholic, since the beginning.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing your history and all the humanitarian work that you do. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow your journey.
Thank you. Yeah, and I would like to talk also about, you mentioned Carrie and Kimball. We are partnering because my profession, of course, I will keep working the humanitarian work and keep doing what I'm doing. But as a profession, I'm an actor, director, and producer. I had many TV shows in Brazil. I've directed the largest comedy festival in Latin America. And we are partnering with this company called Royal Affairs Entertainment. And we are with many action films and TV, variety shows. You hear a lot about this partnership.
Well, you're in the right place.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Well, thank you again so much. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more. And good morning, LaLa.